Hey, so what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be playing a little bit of Kerbal Space Program. We do have an idea, or rather, I have an idea. I know what I want to build. I like doing land speed records. I like jet cars, so we're going to build a jet car. We're going to start with the inline cockpit. We're going to take this and we're actually going to orient it this way so that whenever it starts, it's at a 90-degree angle to the runway, because the runway is not long enough, actually, for what we want to do. And I already sort of have this planned out in my head, so I'm just going to go ahead and start building, and I'll try my best to explain everything to you. So what we're doing is we're actually going to have two nacelles, basically. This thing is going to be vaguely Y-shaped. We're going to have two radial decouplers on the side of the pod here, and those are going to have our jet engines. And what's going to happen is, if we get in a situation where we are losing control, what we can do is we can stage those decouplers and drop the engines. We'll have some Sepatrons that'll fire us into the air, and then we can parachute back down. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to put an inline air intake there. Let's go with the... Let's go with the ram air intake, because for no real other reason than it looks really cool. So we're gonna go with that. Let's go over to our fuel tanks. We need the liquid fuel, like the aircraft, like the Mark 1 liquid fuel fuselage. So that's that. We're gonna put two of those like that. And then we're going to adjust those a little bit so that they are properly balanced on the decouple, like that. That's good. That's what we want. Okay, so now we're going to duplicate those a couple of times, and we're going to have like this. So that's what we want. We're going to go ahead and put the ram air intakes there. We really don't need a whole lot of fuel, actually. So we're actually going to get rid of these. Actually, no. Yeah, we're going to get rid of those. We'll put the engine pre-coolers there. That way we get a little bit more efficiency. So let's go ahead with that. Those like that. Rotate them there. We really don't need a whole lot of fuel for a jet car. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to use the structural fuselages. And those would be... where are those? I think actually they're under structural. I think they actually moved them to where it makes sense. That, and then we'll put the liquid fuel fuselage at the very back where the jet engines are going to be. So like that. And then on the very end, we're going to put the whiplashes. So that. Then let's get those there. Okay, so that's the basis of our system. So that's good. So now let's go ahead and put our wheels on it. We're just going to use landing gear because the landing gear don't have a velocity limitation. Like the rover wheels, if you go too fast with them, they break. So we're going to use these. And then I'm going to put those on the back here. Our long wheelbase is going to give us a pretty good degree of stability. We're going to turn those around. Now, let's get a tailplane on there so that we don't yaw off to the side. That's way too big. Something like that should work just fine. Yeah. Let's go ahead and strut it so that these nacelles don't start wobbling. We're doing everything in two-fold symmetry. I'm not quite sure what that one was doing. Let's try that again. If we start... That's really weird. What is it doing? It's sending him in opposite directions. What? Okay. Undo those. We'll do them one at a time then. I know vaguely where they're supposed to go. So that's gonna go all the way back here. And then there's gonna be another one that goes like this. Like that. See? We'll strut the front as well, just for stability's sake. Like so. And then another one here. Let's go ahead and strut these to each other as well. Back here, preferably, because that's where they're going to wobble the most. And then that'll give us a good degree of stability. Okay, so we have the main body built. Now we need our escape system. So in the event that we lose control, what's going to happen is this thing is going to start... It's more prone to pitch back. So it'll go this way. So it'll pitch back, and the thing will lift up into the air, because you go fast enough, the body itself will start generating lift. And then at that point, because all your weight's focused in the back, that's where it's gonna pivot, which is pretty bad. From like an aerodynamic standpoint, like as far as planes are concerned, this is not what you want. So what we're gonna do is wear the radial parachutes. These. So we're gonna have 2 of these right here. And hopefully that doesn't obstruct the pod or getting out of it. Well, doesn't really matter, actually. It really doesn't, but that's okay. Actually, let's go ahead and put a decoupler on that, because we want to drop that intake as well. Because we want to lower the, minimize the amount that these parachutes have to work. So those are all going to stage at the same time. Now we need Sepatrons. So let's do some shenanigans here, there, and there. And basically this is all going to activate at the same time. So the Sepatrons are going to go... In fact, let's try to get those oriented a bit more vertically so that they go straight up instead of sending the thing horribly spinning. So we're going to call this Test Record Jet Car, because we're making this during a recording test. So, okay. I think we're all set here. So the main engines in the back are going to go first, and then if we need them, and if things start getting, if this thing flips out of control, we're going to stage these nacelles off, stage the intake off, the Sepatrons are going to fire, and then, actually we're going to move the parachute up into its own stage, because we want to get as much thrust out of those Sepatrons as possible. Because if we fire the chutes, the Sepatrons aren't going to... it's going to drag against the Sepatrons, and that's not good. Okay, so I think we're all set here. We're going to go ahead and save this and launch it. So we're going to start sideways on the runway like this. Jebediah is all too keen to get started, so let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to go ahead and yaw off the runway onto this big, long, flat stretch here, and we're going to throttle up. Here we go, going fast, going fast, going fast. Supersonic. Oh! There we go. Look at that. That was gorgeous. Hit the parachutes. Here we go. Oh my god, that could not have gone better. That was amazing. Wow. I'm beside myself right now. This is fantastic. This is why I love this game. Did any of the debris survive? It looks like it did. I'm not sure what that is. But we're just gonna go ahead and coast down to the ground. We can actually tweak when these parachutes open, and right now I think they open a bit too high. Just because we're spending a lot of time coasting to the ground, and... Well, yeah, it's good to have them open high from a safety standpoint. Jebediah's not one for safety. He's one for action and excitement. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this back into the hangar, and we're going to change when these open. Like right now they open at 500 meters. We're going to have them open at 50. Let's say. Actually, shit. I meant to go ahead and get this back. Let's go ahead and recover that. Go back to the spaceplane hangar. Go back over here. Let's go ahead and load the jet car again. There it is. So these, since we have twofold symmetry on 350. So these should be, yep, they're both set to 50. Okay. Let's go ahead and save. Launch. Jebediah should be our test pilot again, as he's so keen to be. Alright, Jeb. Let's throttle it down just till we get off the runway. And we're actually going to stay throttled down a little bit, because throttling up all the way is what got us launching, or what got us pitched back anyway. I haven't figured out a way to generate enough downforce to keep this thing glued to the ground yet. Like, I haven't found a way to, like, design a spoiler. It also doesn't help because the ground here is not perfectly flat. It's flat enough, but at low speeds, yeah. See, that's exactly the kind of thing we want to avoid. Oh god. Oh. And see, in a situation like that, oh, the parachutes didn't. Hold on. I think the parachutes staged with the rest of the with the decouplers and the Sepatrons. No, they didn't. Okay. I mashed it because I was worried. Okay, let's try that one more time. Throttling down wasn't really a good test of this thing's abilities, so let's go ahead, get off the runway here, and let's just fucking gun it. Let's do it. $100, $200. Oh god, that was terrible. Oh, the thing rolled, and so that's why the Sepatrons pretty much rammed him right into the ground. We really have to be careful there. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot that can be done to stop that. We just have to make sure that the patch of land that we use for our test okay, I'm starting to think that that first test might have been a fluke. Because it looks like this thing does have a tendency to roll. I'm not sure if that's just the ground that we're on. What we're gonna do, we're gonna try something a little bit different. I meant to go back to the hangar, but we're gonna recover this. and we're gonna take the because the runway is a model, like it's a model rather than terrain. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take this, orient it back this way, and we're just gonna use the runway because it seems like we're not going the full length of, like, we're not on the ground long enough before we start taking off into the air due to the lifting body effect. So we're just going to go ahead and just gun it down the runway, and if we run off the edge of the runway, then that's fine. We are not exactly centered with it, so there is something pushing us to the right. Not quite sure what. Ah! So in a perfectly flat situation... Look at that, that thing's still going, and it's in the ground. And we're in the water. Oh, that was one of the intakes. There's one of the nacelles. There's the other one. That's us. Fuck! I keep hitting... I need to stop that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm not very good at playing games while... Well, I'm not good at playing a game like this while I'm recording, just because my mind is on so many other things. But, let's try that one more time. We can... So this thing is stable on perfectly flat ground. The issue is the grasslands around the Space Center aren't perfectly flat, and that's unfortunate because that could give us a lot of like that right there, that whole section right, that would be excellent for land speed records, but it's not flat. There's not like a salt flat that you can go to. That thing is still flying. We're going to drop our chutes. At 50, those are going to open. Oh. Well, it's a good thing that these are really solidly built. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end it here. This was mainly just a recording test, and it seems like it's done it pretty well. So, this is Noah. Whatever you want to call me. Tangent, Dark Spartan, whatever. Not really intended for YouTube. I'll probably upload it later, though, just to give something, just to have something entertaining that people can watch. But, that was it. Thanks for watching. It was fun. Cheers.